have a look around. This is not, in the nicest way, this is not a normal group of people. The energy that you guys have just demonstrated now is unbelievable. The group of people that walked in at the beginning of the session, you take your minds back 2 hours ago and having a look at what was going on here. You know, there were boards and bags and 3 guys in full martial arts gear with black belts around their waist, and a whole bunch of you guys went straight to the back of the room and were a little bit reluctant to come down the front and line up. How does it feel now? Everyone feeling pretty comfortable? You've created that. We've opened the doors. Maybe we were a catalyst for this. This unbeatable stuff is either words on a piece of paper or you're going to bring this to life. Listen to your people. Share ideas, prioritise and come up with action plans that these guys can take out and put into place to take you to places that you have never been to before. This stuff is easy to do, isn't it? But you know the problem? It's also easy not to do. You choose. You walk out that door tonight, what is the game plan for when we go back to work? It's Friday. Does come Monday come around and all of a sudden it's forgotten? Yeah, it was a great conference, but the call to action, I've forgotten. Or do we sit down when we walk out of this room and we start writing down some of our ideas? Do we engage our people and share those ideas? Listen to them and demonstrate this is the way we're going to move forward. What do you think? 4 of the most powerful words you can ask anybody on a team. What do you think? Engage them. Easy to do, but it's easy not to do. I said to you before, we've got to decide whether we are absolutely committed to bringing this about or whether it's just an interest. But what about 2 sit-ups and 2 push-ups tomorrow morning? Is that easy to do for everybody? Yes or no? 2 sit-ups and 2 push-ups. Is that a yes or a no? Yes. The trouble is this. It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. And tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're going to make a decision. And I've got a fair idea what it's going to be. We're going to roll over and think to ourselves, the bloke was a bloody idiot. To achieve a black belt, or indeed strive for excellence at anything you do, you need to have a structure. But firstly, you have to believe in yourselves and in what you're doing. Because it's your beliefs that will determine the actions that you will take or won't take that will ultimately lead to the results that you achieve in your lives. But the key is to do something. Okay, fresh air stuff. I've seen you do the fresh air stuff. I've seen you take it onto the bags. What do you reckon about smashing these wooden boards? Yeah. Not convinced. What do you reckon about smashing these wooden boards? Yeah. Aha. When it comes to breaking the board, this is absolutely serious stuff. Board holders, when you set up, board holders, you must have safety glasses on. The focus is the centre of the board holder's chest. If you stop on the plane of the wood, will the board break? Yes or no? No. If you don't follow through, the board won't break. If you don't follow up from today's conference, there'll be no change when you walk out and leave this conference. So it's the centre of the board holder's chest. Centre of the board, my chest. Centre of the board, my chest. And that's what we're encouraging these guys to do. It should sound and looks like something like this. Touch the centre of the board, straight back and ah! As you break the board, that's mine. You're allowed to clap if you want to. The 3 things before we leave this session. This is something that you are all in charge of. The first thing is what we spoke about before, the importance of the 1%ers. What are 3 or 4 little things that each of you are going to do when you leave this room today? For those of you that said that I want to be fitter and healthier than I've ever been before, that was every single one of you that put your hand up in the air. The deal is tomorrow. 2 sit-ups and 2 push-ups. For those of you that want better relationships with somebody who you care about, I'm talking about 1 compliment to somebody that needs to be thanked. Sincerely thanked. That's easy to do, but it's easy not to do. You'll choose. I'm talking about those of you that want to be the next best international author. I'm talking about getting out of bed 20 minutes earlier and practicing your writing for 20 minutes. It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. The second thing I want you to be mindful of when we leave this conference is the importance of being consistent, as opposed to the roller coaster of life, that you're sensational when you feel like it, but pretty average when you don't. What are the things that all of us are going to expect from every other person on my team all of the time? You don't shower on a Monday and think, well, I'm clean this week, I don't have to worry about it until next week. There are some things you have to do over and over again. You don't go to gym in January and think, well, I've done my fitness stuff for 2007. There are certain things, as I say, you've just got to hang in there and keep doing. And the last thing I want to leave you with before we close this conference is quite simply, please, please do not take people for granted. Let's look at ways that we can open relationships. Let's look at ways that we can build on those relationships. Guys, my black belt in excellence happened to be in martial arts. But please, do not misunderstand this story. This is not a story about martial arts. This is a story about whatever you want your black belt in excellence to be in. I'm talking about continual improvement. I'm talking about one new stripe at a time, one new colour at a time, all the way through to your very own black belt. What you choose to do with any part of what you've acquired today. Have a look at what you loved about the day. Have a look at working with your teammates as what turned it on for you. One step at a time, one new colour at a time, all the way through to your very own black belt in excellence. Guys, thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Thank you.